Hi, everyone, and welcome to Consensus Hong Kong. We are live at the Midnight booth. I'm Lauren Lee, and I lead our developer relations team at the foundation. Welcome, both of you. I want to introduce you and welcome to our first podcast, our first live stream of the day one Consensus. Jay, welcome. Let's introduce you. Who are you?
Sure. So I go by Jay Albert. I'm a DevRel engineer at the Midnight Foundation. So I'm typically working on docs, tutorials, workshops, dev hangouts. If you're involved in our community, we'll be in touch soon.
That's right. And I believe this is your first conference that you've come with us on tour before. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here to talk to everyone about blockchains, about privacy. So it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you do your reps and kind of meet people on the booth. It's the best way to kind of, learn about how to talk to people, boots on the ground, and, just meet community and do the reps of DevRel on the ground and, do Midnight through and through.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to hear people's ideas, what they're excited about, what their challenges are, and to be able to speak to that, right? So it's an exciting time.
I'm really glad you're here. Yeah. Okay. And then Kevin, welcome.
Yeah, hi. My name is Kevin, and I'm founder and CEO of HackQuest. So we've been building the space for more than 5 years. We are a developer education and hackathon platform. So we do a lot of developer initiative around the world. So the goal is to actually to build a Google developer group, but for Web3.
I haven't heard you say that before, a developer Google for Web3. Yeah. Say more about that, because we're partners. Midnight and HackQuest recently have launched Midnight Developer Academy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I want to dig into that. So a developer Google. So what's the goal? What's the vision?
Yeah, so Google Developer Group is actually a very large, decentralized, developer community for Google.
It is, yeah.
So they have hub in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
For example, in Hong Kong,
yeah.
In nearby Shenzhen, there are in Kuala Lumpur, just a lot of city around the world, and it's what's amazing is it's actually a decentralized community. It's
True.
not managed by any centralized role or anything. It's really a community. They bring people together maybe every month to talk about tech, to talk about all the new AI stuff, everything. So. But in Web3, we don't see anything like that. We don't see a global decentralized community for developers. So the goal is really to build that out for Web3. Yeah. So we want it to be global, so not just regional, and also developer focused. So people talk about tech, we share opportunity across the community, and also we actually give the chance for the community members to maybe make money by maybe applying for the jobs, by participating in hackathon, etc. Yeah.
So what were the first steps on growing that and starting that and kind of organically creating that ecosystem?
Yeah, I think what's important is actually, because creating a community, I think what's really important is it needs to be bi-directional. It cannot just be, okay, you are preaching something to the community and you don't hear from them. It needs to you are preaching them something, and then you need to hear from them, and they need to contribute.
Feedback,
so it becomes it will grow organically in that way. So it's not just you are giving them something, because a lot of time what we notice is a lot quote unquote community is just basically a Telegram group, or it's just the
way to get your stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh
admin
my God,
posting.
that's classic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So we really want everyone to to contribute to the community together. Yeah.
I love that. I love it. Go ahead.
And I think you've been doing an amazing job, because we met some teams that you've been working with already, right? And I was blown away.
Okay, we need to talk about the other night. I mean, right. Okay, so a couple of nights ago, Midnight and HackQuest hosted an incredible evening together. It was called Privacy Pitched, and Kevin helped us identify 9 teams who pitched their projects about how they were going to incorporate privacy or selective disclosure into their projects, and the teams pitched their projects to Charles Hoskinson, to Jay, to sharks, if you will. We did a Shark Tank Dragon's Den style, and wow, were we blown away by the maturity of those teams. So Kevin, hats off to you on those teams. They were well beyond the maturity of hackathon team styles that we are used to seeing, I would say. And we want all of them to be building on Midnight. We cannot wait to get in touch with them and to, you know, see, okay, what are the next steps on getting them to actually build on Midnight? So, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, like we received a lot of applications for the pitch.
That's what you
because,
said.
Yeah, it's like a great opportunity to pitch to the Midnight Foundation team
Sure.
and also Charles, of course.
Yeah.
Like everyone want to pitch. So we received a lot of like applications. And meanwhile, I do think like privacy and verification is a major use case in crypto space.
Yeah.
So actually a lot of projects are very relevant to that. So I'm also very happy to see like because like honestly like in the past 1 or 2 years I feel like the space has been a little bit boring. So it's like people are just building
Right?
the same
Yeah.
stuff over and over again. But this time we do see a lot of like interesting projects. There are I think a project like they already launched a satellite. And
That blew my mind. Absolutely.
I keep saying that I thought they were messing with us.
Yeah. They actually like already launched one satellite and
No, I know.
launched couple more, and they say okay, actually like privacy is one of like most important part of like why they choose to put the compute in the space instead of on Earth. So and there are people like who is like doing like AI agents town, right? Like with
That was fun.
yeah, it's very fun, and we also got a lot of like teams around like everywhere, like that people traveling from the States to here to
That
Hong
flew
Kong.
into the event
Yes.
to talk to the Midnight team. I felt so honored.
Yeah.
I felt blown away and just incredibly excited that honored honestly is actually a word, because this is a huge trip to fly from the U.S.
Yeah.
to Hong Kong. I've never been to Hong Kong, by the way. This is my first time. I really am having a great time. But and it just feels like this is a gift that we get to be working with these teams. Privacy is a huge thing for for a team and a project application. This is a really important part of their stack now, and this will change their project hopefully. And so, yeah, it's a big responsibility too, I think, for us to now be the piece that they're adding on. So I'm excited, but also like, I take it heavily and say, like, we got to really step up and be the right tech for them. And I hope I'm confident we are. So we have a job to do. Like, that's on us now, and I'm ready for it. So yeah.
But I'm excited. I've seen a lot of cool ideas. Everyone was talking about privacy in unique ways, from the satellite to capturing your own voice and being able to take control of your voice on different platforms, from even mapping data, all of it. So it's like people are starting to get it. They're excited about building. They see the value, and they're already incorporating it into their apps. And that was exciting for me because it touched into different venues that I'd never even considered, that my data is being captured in all these places and being monetized. And I have no idea where it's going. I don't have control over it. And people realize that's a big problem, and they want to address it. So seeing everyone excited to address it, seeing their applications, it's been amazing.
Not a
experience.
single team was the same either, right? And
Yeah.
people ask me that all the time. They're like, what's the team or project that you want to see exist in the world? I'm like, I don't have the answer for that, because every single team comes up with something better every time I meet them, right? And every hackathon that we get to throw together, we're going to find a better project, because the students and the young kids of the world are going to come up with a better project, because they're seeing it. They're observing how their data is being captured in ways that we have normalized and we have accepted and just decided that that's how the world is. But they're problematizing it and saying that's not how it should be. And I love it. Like, we should not be monetized. There's so many things that we are going to be helping shift and change. So thanks for helping us do that, Kevin.
Yeah, it's a great honor to work with Midnight team as well, because it surprised me how smooth everything is just to get everything together and make it happen in Hong Kong, because we didn't prep it like very long actually. Like,
Let's not tell them that.
but it's like it's great to see how smooth it is to put everything together. Yeah.
So let's backtrack a bit, because before you started working with Midnight, I'm curious because you work with a lot of other ecosystems, and when you would have a project or a team and they would ask you about like, I or present this problem and say, I have a compliance restriction, how would you suggest they solve this, or where would you direct them to? How would you help them tackle this?
Yeah, actually that's a very good question. I think before actually there weren't like a lot of good solution, like, because like I think nowadays actually a lot of chains start to realize, okay, we need to build something special, like
Sure.
rather than just a chain. But before it's just a chain. Like they claim like to to be special, but end of the day, it's not so like they don't really have that like component that can really empowers the team. So like learning about Midnight Tech, I think what's great is like I'm learning is actually the team is trying to like build out like special features to empower the teams to do all the privacy compliance related stuff. So it's like it's amazing to see that. Yeah.
Great to hear. Now you have somewhere to point them to, I suppose. That's the great thing. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about things that Midnight is also activating for the developer ecosystem right now, because that's what you and I are really focused on day in, day out in developer relations. And I think that's what we're living and breathing in our life right now. And back home, we're thinking about mainnet and how that's all we're focused on, right? And how we're getting builders kind of activated. What are things that you're excited about?
I mean, I'm excited about all of our different verticals, all of our different programs that we're working on. I think first it does start with education. So I think you and our team have done a brilliant job with putting together the academy, going through the certifications. I've seen people post, be excited, like, hey, I understand blockchain 101. I understand ZK technology. So having that, going through that kind of curriculum and being certified, I think is meaningful towards the people in our community, but also us. And we have a program where we want to take you from education to understanding our core technology and building on it. So you go from the academy and then you can take what you've learned there and submit kind of proof over to our platforms like Zealy, where you can gather points for your experiences, right? And the goal in my mind over the long term is to understand these skills and what people's interests are as they're gathering in our community so that we can connect to different people and collaborate with other people in our community. There's companies that need different employees, and we want to be able to say, hey, they've gone through the academy, they have these skills, you should reach out to this developer. And then on the developer side, there's tons of different programs where we're taking their ideas and we're kind of nurturing them to go and prepare for mainnets. So I'm excited about a ton of different programs that we're working on right now.
Yeah, I love that for the academy, we decided to start from zero. We said anyone is welcome. We're going to teach you fundamentals, foundational concepts of blockchain, of ZK. If you know nothing, come on in. You're welcome. You can skip it if you know it, though, right? Like we can just intro you to Midnight if you're already in another ecosystem and you get blockchain already, or if you just want to start with ZK because you're not aware of that piece. Okay, we'll get you there. I think that was really a thoughtful way to be welcoming to any type of developer. But it makes us kind of accessible, and we can be the entry point for any developer. So I think that was an incredible way to be the entry point for anyone, because our partnership with the other hackathon, MLH, I'm thinking Major League Hacking, they have a lot of Web 2 devs, and so now HackQuest can be the entry point for them, and it's a perfect partnership too. So yeah, I think the certifications are incredible. We see those all over social media. Those people really seem to be responding well to that. And those will be NFTs once we're mainnet.
Yes, exactly.
Love it.
Yeah. And also, just add on like what Lauren said, I think just as you mentioned, it's really important that we provide like education like materials to everyone, not just to ZK experts, because like ZK is just like very small, like they're just a very small group of ZK devs. Like we're just like attracting them, then like there's no one new is entering the space, so it's great to see like Midnight is doing education for everyone, for newcomers.
Yeah.
So like there could be like we could educate them about ZK, also like the content, because the content is for everyone, right? Because like I'm in education space for like 8 years now. Like what I realize is if you are just designing the content for the experts, or like you are designing the content for like the middle level people, then you are designing the content for no one, because like no one will no one will understand it, right? Like the newcomer will find it to be too difficult, and the expert will find it to be too easy. But if you are designing content for beginner, just as Lauren said, like the expert can just skip some of them, but the newcomer can really get in. Yeah,
that's so true. I need to look up after this how many ZK developers there are in the world, because I'm so familiar with that stat that there are 27,000 Web3 developers in the world, and that there are 27 million Web2 developers in the world, because I'm obsessed with that number, because I want those Web2 developers building on Midnight, because I deeply believe that data protection is not exclusive to Web3, because we just meet so many Web2 devs that are like, I get that concept. I understand why selective disclosure, or I could apply that to my Web 2 application and I could utilize that technology. Just help me understand what a smart contract is. Okay, I could use HackQuest to make sense of what the blockchain piece is. That's it. We just have to explain to them what a smart contract is, and then we get them to become a Web3 dev. We don't have to like sell them on the crypto piece, right? We just have to make sense of what, okay, blockchain technology is. And all three of us in this room could help them make sense of that, right? Like, it's not that complex. It's just a ledger system.
And I also think the engineering team has done an amazing job with the language itself, right? Because it's based on JavaScript. So if you're familiar with
Yes.
JavaScript, it's pretty easy to pick up to understand what's going on. So you don't even have to understand these complex, cryptography methods, things like that. You can pick up the language right away out of the box and start working. So that to me is what makes it exciting, accessible, and like you were saying, we don't want to build for the highly technical people. This puts it in the hands of everyday developers, of the 27 million developers you're referencing.
Well, to be a top 5 blockchain, which Jay knows is my like true ambition, we only need 3,000 developers building on Midnight.
Right.
Let's freaking go. We can do this. Like, the three of us in this room can do this. Let's achieve this. Like, I want Midnight to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
I just want Midnight in the hands of developers because I believe it's so important. And so it's not because I want us to be great. It's just because I want everyone to have this technology. And so I think it's so important that people have access to this tech and that people can protect their data and or choose to, or have the ability to. It's the privacy piece of it all. But so so you started to touch on Zeely. I do want people to know that we have sprints going at all time because you have a gaming sprint happening right now. I know you're really passionate about that. You want to hit that really quickly, just not from a sales POV, but just let people know that it's happening.
Yeah, so within Zeely, you can find different quests so that you can learn about our ecosystem, the different initiatives that we have ongoing. But there's tons of different verticals that we address, from AI to gaming to healthcare, right? So we want to kind of create these, not only the curriculum for you to learn these things, but for you to progressively go through like a learning pathway, right? And for you to prove like, hey, I know how to deal with identity. I know how to deal with healthcare records on a private blockchain. So then you can prove that you're doing these lessons, that you can have a contract that compiles. And we use that to verify that information. So you can go on Zeely, submit your quests and your work, and get points. And we qualify you for the things that, for different opportunities, right? Like Build Club, like other initiatives that we're working on.
Yes, exactly. And so those points rise up the ranks, get you different swag, different rewards and whatnot. Rewards are important to us. We think you must be rewarded for the activities that you do. And so we also recently have launched bounties on our contributor hub, which you can find on our GitHub. And that right now we just have a content bounty, but we have started alluding to gaming is important in a big initiative that we've launched recently, or kind of been talking about. And so I think you recently on our live streams have been kind of dabbling and almost kind of like Easter egging that we will be having a gaming bounty launching soon. So that is something that I think we've put it on the website. Like we've told the world that we're doing it and it's coming. So yeah, I think we can say declare that it's coming now. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So it's not only about gathering those points, about the bounties, right? Okay. There's specific applications that we're looking for that we know will do well, whether that's gaming that has like asymmetric information, right? Or you're trying to discover who the other person is, or a secret that they hold. Those kind of like spy games are really fun. So we have these opportunities to guide you towards applications that we know have some sort of product market fit, or that we've even submitted like a list of hundreds of products that we would like to see, right? So the bounties is a good opportunity for you to take a chance and try to build one of those applications and see if there is an opportunity over there and get a reward for it. So I'm excited to see those bounties.
Yes, we have some real money behind it that we'll put out because we believe deeply that there is a ton of value, and we see VCs saying we want this to exist in the world. So yeah. And all of this kind of culminates because Jay has an initiative that you're behind called Build Club, which is a 8-week-long program for us to kind of validate these ideas, to help teams proof of concept them get ready to pitch, because we want to support teams. We're not just hosting these hackathons and asking teams to build, and I'm not one to say, hey, here's a reward, see you later. I hate the pirates or the bounty hunters. I want people in our funnel forever. I want them building on Midnight. I want them to come in, get invested, and feel supported and stay. So Build Club is our first effort at that. Can you speak to Build Club?
Yeah, of course. So the way I look at it is I've been a part of several different ecosystems as a hacker, as a builder. I've built tons of different applications from like AR, VR things.
Sure.
But I built things I loved that I was just curious about, excited about the technology. And then I've published some of them and I have one user and it's like my best friend who's like, this is an awesome game, but that's it, right? And no one really wants that, to spend months or years building stuff that no one really uses. So I've come to appreciate over time that the real value here is building businesses, is building things that have value to people that other people will be willing to pay for. That's what gets people excited, right? Is that not only did I deploy this application, but other people want to use it, right? And so much so that they're willing to pay me for it or pay for a service. To me, that's amazing. So the Build Club is a 8-week program where we take you from idea all the way to prep you to go and perform a demo day, a pitch in front of potential investors to write you your first check. We help you prepare for that by going through master classes. So we have people within our network that will teach you about going to market, about marketing, about how to acquire your first customers, how to do your market research. And we've already seen some of our community members publish on LinkedIn like, hey, this was week 1. I've identified my customer. I know who they are. I know what their pain points are.
Wow.
So it's been amazing to have us brainstorm. It's a very collaborative type of kind of environment. You know, everyone just pitches in. They give feedback towards each other's ideas, say, hey, maybe you should consider, you know, these kind of issues within compliance, or, hey, I know someone within your industry. If you're doing real estate, let me connect you to someone there. So it's been an amazing opportunity. There's so much excitement in the room, and I'm excited to see what these teams build over the next 7 weeks now.
Back to your point, there's power in community, there's power in a cohort, right? There's something to be said about that collaborative learning. I really think we need to start thinking about cohorting the academy, by the way. I want to explore what that looks like, because I think getting people learning together, there's something there for us to like batch them. I was part of Polkadot Blockchain Academy. It's how I learned like really, truly the fundamentals. I think we can figure something out there. I also want to start thinking about questing. I think when you were talking about that, there's something about like getting the points. I mean, XPs, we all know that like gamifying, we've seen it work. A passion of mine. We have many programs, as you can see. Like our team at our DevRel team. I like to say that we have a new program every week. Like we pitch an idea, we say yes to it, and we try it. And if it fails, great. Like not great, but we learn from it. We iterate. We try something different. Perfect is the enemy of great, right? We try and move on, or we try things and we keep growing from it all. Is kind of the mantra of our startup. But we also have a program called the Elite, which is our fellowship of developers, our excellent compact developers, and they represent us almost like an ambassador program out in the wild, spread out geographically, but it's a small group of folks. It's 16 excellent compact developers, geo spread across the globe. And the way that they qualify in is by hitting 1,000 points within Zeely, and that makes them eligible to apply. I think there's a connection that we could make within the academy somehow and get them questing in there as well. Yeah. I don't think you have questing or some...
It's not there yet, but I think
we could, right? Like
there's we should think about.
Right, like there's an easy overlap for us to somehow connect. But anyhow, there's this experience of being a dev in our ecosystem. I want it all to feel well connected, because we have such a green field of what it is to be a midnight dev right now, right? Like we're lucky, we're small, at a well-established ecosystem. All of these things exist within different decentralized teams, and it's all siloed from one another. Like we right now are in the room talking to each other, designing this. Like we can figure out how to do this together and like do it well and make sure that the developer experience is excellent. We can make it great together, and so that it feels really empowering, and we can learn from past mistakes from other bad teams that kind of were not prioritizing the right things. And I think we can really make this incredible for our developers. There's something there that we can keep playing with.
For me, what I appreciate about our team is I think our team often thinks beyond developers. Developers are our core people, because they're
course.
building on our network, they're building the
Their
applications.
team.
But with the content bounties, the idea was we want to understand who are the great writers, who are the people who make great video content, right? So that we can take advantage of those network effects. They're in several other communities. Some of them are in Solana communities. They're in Bitcoin communities. And they want to understand the privacy implications of also working with those communities. So it's a great way to get content out there. But then I would like to see, going into the future, people come to us that have a business problem, business-minded people, right? Product people, to say, hey, these are the kind of problems that we're seeing in our world, whether it's healthcare, whether it's AI. People constantly complain, hey, these AI models are being trained on my personal data. That shouldn't happen, right? So I would love to work with someone who's an AI expert that understands this problem, is looking for a privacy solution, and say, hey, present the problem to our developer community, and let's build some solutions for that.
Well, you're really excited because you're going to start. I think we're mature enough. We were just having this conversation that I think we're ready for us to start a matchmaking job board of some kind in the Discord, so that our ecosystem partners can say, I need an excellent compact developer. And then our elite members, our fellowship, developers or just ecosystem devs can say, I'm ready for a job in the ecosystem. I think that takes a mature ecosystem, though, right? Like, you need to be at a certain place where you're ready to say a stamp of approval, but you can really be a part of that because you are the certificate that says you are the expert. You have passed a certain level of, or you've taken the academy and you've graduated, and we can certify and declare that you are a compact developer. You have built. I think Idris is working on that final capstone of or final advanced module, and so once that person has submitted and we have validated that their project compiles, we can say yes. You can now, on the job board, we can say, yep, you are. We can validate that you're ready to be hired.
And that's the thing. Not every developer wants to build a company, right? And I love to push people to that, right? Yeah. Because I think that's where the opportunity is. You have the technical skills. I just want to pair you. Maybe you're not a business-minded person. I want to pair you with a business-minded person. Like the content bounties, I want to pair you with a content person if you're not good at marketing or distribution. So it's a good opportunity to kind of train people up, credentialize them, and then kind of place them with the appropriate people, whether that's a hackathon team for them to build their next product, or maybe that's an ecosystem partner who's looking for a great engineer that understands privacy and also understands their technology stack. So I think there's tons of people with a lot of skills. We have to just identify who those people are, what their skills are, and place them on the appropriate teams. And to me, that's an exciting opportunity.
That's really going to be important for everyone. Everyone's going to benefit from that.
I think what's really exciting to see is like the Midnight team is building an end-to-end pipeline for everyone. Like it's not just like a particular group of people. It's not just like founder, not just like intro-level developer, but for everyone at every stage. So I think that's good because like no matter which stage they are, like they can find a program that's suitable for them. Like for example, if they just they're new to a space, they can go to academy, they can learn new stuff. If they are like intermediate developer, like level developer, they can maybe try some bounty, they can just test it. And if they are like founders, they are really advanced level developer, they can apply for the build club, they can apply for the pitch event, etc. So it's great to see there's a pipeline that's forming.
Yeah, there's really something that will catch anyone. Yeah. Like that's so well put. It feels great to hear from your perspective that like that's working. Yeah, it's awesome to hear.
And it's not only the individual developers, right? Because of course I work constantly with indie developers with small teams, but there are large organizations that are realizing, hey, we need a privacy component. We need to pivot. So there's also opportunities to work with those large organizations. Our BD team is amazing. They're closing great deals.
Yeah, they hit the big ones.
But we've even talking with those kind of mid-sized companies that are interested in the technology and they're exploring, and there are opportunities, where we have like accelerators and we have kind of potential investments from the ecosystem. If you're already generating revenue, you have a business and you need a privacy component, we'd love to talk to you all and figure out how we can work together.
Yeah, so it's really everyone can build on Midnight. It's really, no matter who you are, privacy knows no bounds, and we're here for you. Yeah. We'll wrap up today talking about the future of the Academy. Yeah. We know that we really are excited this is not the end. What we have right there exists right now. The 2 modules is just the beginning.
Right.
We wanted to get that out there for the world because that's the content that exists right now. We know that the capstone module is next, but we are going to soon have a validator module. We want to get the SPOs. We want to get that content out there. Of course, that's the other persona that our team is really passionate about addressing and making sure there's content for. But we're just discussing the idea of making sure that we get partner created modules, as in or content. So working with Dega AI, so let's get an AI one. So AI in Midnight, and versus maybe a medical. So working with Nexifuse authored one. So working with our enterprise partners and having them co-author things together, so that we can do kind of use case based ones. So that if I am a developer and I have I want to work on a niche area, then that would be the module I take, because that is the use case I'm interested in, and that would be the vertical that I dive deep into, so that would be the DApp that I am building out. And so I think that could be a space that we kind of vertical build out and then have a whole curriculum in. So just keep building as we go.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Because I think like the education component is like a great component to bring everyone together. Like they can all have their content out there, and different, as we mentioned, like there will be different groups of people who is learning, so they can find, like we need to make sure like they can find the content that's suitable for them.
Yeah, I was a teacher before I learned to code, and I always found that like the choose your own adventure or choose your own learning is the pathway for self-motivated, right? If I can be in the driver's seat, it's going to be the most empowering way for someone to learn, and let them really be a part of that, and it'll empower them. Just like we've been saying, let's empower people to have their own data, empower them to have their own pathway to learning.
Yeah, and I love this approach, because whenever anyone talks about blockchains, they talk about crypto, right? They think money, finance, DeFi. Sure. But there are people who work for medical institutions, right, who are maybe interested. They don't realize there's an opportunity here. So being the first person to expose them to that opportunity, to me, is exciting to see the gears turning. They're like, oh, there's a whole new industry being born. I want to learn about this. So making those learning pathways for AI, for the healthcare, for gaming, makes people realize that there's a whole new space here. It's a great opportunity, and I am probably the first person that knows about this. That's an exciting opportunity.
First in, love it. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you both for joining us for this first live stream podcast at Consensus. How cool that we're doing this. Jay, Kevin, this was such a joy, such a pleasure. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone. We'll wrap up here today. And let's give a shout out to the Academy. Of course, you can find everything that we've talked about today otherwise at midnight.network/developer hub. But the Academy is academy.midnight.network.
Yes.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye, folks.
Thank you all.
Thank you.